arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. His attorney tells CNN that he is currently being processed. The charges are unclear as of this moment.
So Diddy's finally broken his silence after his big arrest, and his first statement is totally wild. With the charges piling up and the drama reaching a fever pitch, Diddy's lawyer is out here making some pretty bold claims. He's hitting back at the allegations, denying everything from bribery to coercion, and insisting that the real story is way different from what's being spun. So, the prosecutors are making a big fuss about how Diddy might skip town, thanks to his massive wealth, access to private planes, and a whole team of people. Even though his passport was handed over a couple of months ago, they're still worried he could interfere with witnesses. The big question is, how can the lawyer prove to the court that Didster won't mess with the witnesses if the prosecutors are saying he's already tried bribing security and threatening people? What's really important, though, is that Diddy made a move to New York on September 5th, as soon as it was clear that charges were coming down the pipeline. He flew from Florida to New York, and the lawyer reached out to the prosecutors to let them know he wanted to surrender, but the prosecutors didn't want him to do that because it would make it harder for them to claim he's a flight risk and a danger. By October 5th, they were expecting charges, but the lawyer had known this was coming as far back as March 25th when the searches were done. The searches in Los Angeles, Miami, and his plane made it clear that charges were on the horizon. The lawyer knew that by early September, Diddy needed to come to New York and face what was coming. One key point the lawyers make is that the prosecutors are dragging up an old video from 8 years ago. Even Diddy admitted it was a bad look and apologized, but the prosecutors are now using it to paint him in a bad light. The lawyer talked on national TV about Diddy bribing a hotel security worker, but to be honest, this was never a criminal case, just a messy personal situation. Let's get back to Cassie. There was initial denial when she filed a lawsuit last fall. Diddy's current lawyer wasn't involved back then, but he noted that the denials were mostly from previous lawyers. The real gravity of the situation was more about sex crimes rather than the misdemeanor assault shown in the video. The indictment itself talks about multiple victims and witnesses, but the lawyer argues that there's actually just one victim and a bunch of witnesses, not 50. There's a specific count for sex trafficking involving one victim, and the rest is just witness testimony. When asked about Diddy's reaction to his arrest, the lawyer said he wasn't surprised at all. As for the defense, the lawyer has interviewed several men who were involved and claims there's no evidence of coercion or non-consensual activity. This was a long-term relationship, and all participants were adults who wanted to be there. The lawyer hasn't been able to interview the one woman involved because she's a grand jury witness, but insists that there's no evidence of coercion or blackmail. Overall, the lawyer says that while Diddy's past actions might be tough to watch, the charges are more about conspiracy and racketeering, and the evidence just doesn't line up with the prosecutor's claims of a massive network of victims.